Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Man, I just wanted to come with something a little different. People, when they talk about football, they really don't talk about the D line. And this is mind-boggling to me. D line is your your front that basically stops the run and gets pressure on your QB. If you don't have a good D line, you'll be like the Dallas Cowboys and be trash. And then your Mike linebacker is really your most important. You have to have a great Mike linebacker, and then you have to have a D tackle or nose tackle who's just vicious, ferocious, who can stop the run, and also pass rush. Your ends are basically your guys who are contained or they're pass rushers, or they'll bounce the run inside. Like, they are very good at that. And they also have to watch out for a lot of cutbacks as well as the outside backers. So to me, I've always asked this question: who is better, Fletcher Cox or Aarondonald? Now, before everybody go crazy and want to just dislike the video and just think about it though. Who is the better D tackle? Like, seriously, this is a great question. Now, as far as a pass rusher, Fletcher Cox isn't that bad. Like, he really is not that bad at pass rushing. He's probably one of the greatest or best pass rushing DTs we've seen in a long time, especially when they were on that Super Bowl run where they beat Tom Brady. How they did, he made some plays at the end along with Graham. So let's just look at it. Let's look at it. Fletcher Cox in his career in 2012, he came in. He had 32 total tackles, 39 combinations. 39 combined tackles, 32 solo, 7 assists, 8 tackles for loss, 10 QB hits, 1 forced fumble. Now, he played 15 games and only started 9. Now, in 2013, he played and started all 16 games. He had a forced fumble. He had 3 sacks. He had 41 combined tackles, basically 29 solo, 12 assists, and 4 tackles for losses, and 9 QB hits. 2014, he 16 games he played and 16 he started. He had 1 TD, 4 sacks, 61 combined tackles, 48 solos, and 13 assists, 8 tackle for losses, and 7 QB hits. And what is AV? Okay. And 2000, that was 14. 2015, he had 9.5 sacks, 71 combined tackles with 50 solo, 21 assists, 11 tackle for losses, and 20 QB hits. So he jumped up tremendously. And here, he had 43 in 2016. He had a forced fumble, 2 passes defended. He had 6.5 sacks, 43 combined tackles, 27 solos, 16 assists, and 9 tackle for losses, 14 QB hits. 2017, he played 14 games, started 14. He was out 2. He had 2 forced fumbles, 5.5 sacks, 26 combined, 15 solo, 11 assist tackles, 5 for losses, 17 QB hits. 2018, He played in 16 games, started 16. He had a forced fumble. He had a fumble recovery where he had two the year before. So then he had 10 and a half sacks, 46 combined, 33 solo, 13 assists, 12 tackles for losses, 34 QB hits. So he jumped back up. He had more. 2019, he started in 16 games, played 16. He had 3 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, 3.5 sacks. It kind of went down. 40 combined, 26 solo, 14 assists, 5 tackle for losses, and 10 QB hits. In 2020 so far, through 13 games, he has 6.5 sacks, 36 combined tackles, 25 solo, 11 assists, and 9 tackle for losses. So his career so far, he has 54.5 sacks, 2 TDs, 11 fumble recoveries, which is pretty good for a defensive tackle. And 12 forced fumbles, which is also great. And he's defended 14 passes, basically deflecting them. He's had over 403 combined tackles, 285 solo, 118 assists, which is great, which means he can hold his own against a running back or anybody one-on-one. 71 tackles for losses, 130 QB hits. Man, so the man's pretty good, if we could say so. In the playoffs, let's see. Yeah, in the playoffs in 2013, he only had 3 tackles and 3 solo, no sacks. In 2017, I believe he had 1 sack, 11 combined, 9 solo, 2 assists, 2 tackles for losses, and 6 QB hits. 2018, he had 2 He had 5 combined, 3 solo tackles, 2 assists, 1 tackle for loss, 1 QB hit. 2019, he had 6 tackles combined, 1 forced fumble, 3 solo tackles, 3 assists, and 2 tackles for losses, and 1 QB hit. So for his career in the playoffs, he has 1 sack, 25 tackles total, which is 18 solo, 7 assist tackles, and 5 tackle for losses, and 8 QB hits. All right, so now let's go to Aaron Donald. Now, Aaron Donald, 2014, he came in. He played in 16 games, started 12. He had 2 forced fumbles, 9 sacks, 48 combined tackles, 38 solo, 10 assists, 18 tackles for losses, and 13 QB hits. In 2015, he played in 16 games, started 16. He had 0 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 11 sacks, 69 combined tackles, 44 solo, 25 assists, and 22 tackles for losses, 37 QB hits. 2016, he had 2 forced fumbles, 8 sacks, 47 combined tackles, which is 36 solo, 11 assists, and 17 tackle for losses, and 31 QB hits. Now, 2017, he had 5 forced fumbles this year, 1 fumble recovery, 11 sacks, 41 combined tackles, 32 solo, 9 assists, 15 tackle for losses, 27 QB hits. 2018, he played in 16 games. 16 games started. He had 4 forced fumbles, where last year he had 5. Fumble recovery, he had 2, when last year he had 1. He had 20 and a half sacks. 59 combined tackles, 41 solo, 18 assists, 25 tackle for losses, 41 QB hits. Next year he played 16 games, started 16 games, 2 pass deflectings and 2 forced fumbles. He had 1 fumble recovery where he had 2 the previous year. 12 and a half sacks, 48 combined tackles, 29 solo, 19 assists, 20 tackles for losses, 24 QB hits. So and this year he has 13 games. He's played 13 games. He started 4 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, and he has 12 and a half sacks, which is amazing. Aaron Donald is a great pass rusher. 36 combined, 22 solo tackles, 14 assists, 10 for losses, and 24 QB hits. So for a career, he has 19 forced fumbles, which is let's see. He has 19 forced fumbles. He has 19 forced fumbles compared to Fletcher Cox's 12. He has 6 fumble recoveries compared to Fletcher Cox 11. And touchdowns, he has 0 compared to Fletcher Cox 2. Right. Now, sacks, he has 84 and a half sacks compared to Fletcher Cox 54 and a half. Tackles, Aaron Donald has 348 compared to Fletcher's 403 combined tackles. Solo, Aaron Donald has 242 compared to Fletcher Cox 285. And assists, Fletcher Cox has 118 to Aaron Donald's 106. Tackle for loss, Fletcher has 71 compared to Aaron Donald's 127, which is amazing. QB hits, Fletcher Cox is 130 compared to Aaron Donald's 197. Now, Aaron Donald in the playoffs, let's go. There are 2 years they played so far in the playoffs. He had 0.5 sacks for the whole career, and he had 5 combined in 2017, 4 solo, 1 assist, 1 tackle for a loss, and 1 QB hit. In 2018, he had no sacks, 9 combined tackles, 5 solo, 4 assists, 3 tackle for losses, and 4 QB hits. So for a career, let's see their playoffs head to head. So in the playoffs, Fletcher's been to the playoffs more than Aaron Donald. I think he came in the league a year before Donald, so that would be understandable. But the Rams, but Fletcher Cox totals, he has 1 forced fumble, a sack, 25 tackles, combined 18 solo, 7 assists, 5 tackles for losses, and 8 QB hits. Compared to Aaron Donald's 14 combined tackles, a half sack, 9 solo, 5 assists, 4 tackle for losses, and 5 QB hits. So, who is the better defensive tackle? When you talk about defensive tackle, you basically talk about some of the best, like Warren Sapp, Randall from back in the day. You had Russell Maryland in the middle. You had Boogie McFarland. You had a lot of guys in the past. I believe Deacon Jones was a D tackle. You got to give him some love. So defensive tackles to me are the anchor of your defense. If you don't have a good or great defensive tackle, your team's going to struggle. You're not going to stop the run, and you're not going to be able to get pressure on the quarterback, because if you have a D tackle who can push that line back, that makes the quarterback have to step either around or up. Because if you have D ends to match with your guys in the middle at the D tackle, then your quarterback's going to get sacked every time because he has nowhere to run, because they're going to collapse the pocket. The ends are going to get upfield and contain him while the D tackle push the line to him, which is going to make him throw an error throw, or throw an interception, or throw an intentional grounding. Or he could fumble the ball if you strip it from him. So, to me, pass rushing, Aaron Donald hands down. Aaron Donald is probably the greatest pass rusher we've seen since Warren Sapp from the 3 technique. Not only that, you can move him at the 1, you can move him to the 1 eye, you can move or 2 eye, or you can move him to the 5, or which is the end, or you can move him to a wide 9. You can move them all over the D line. Aaron Donald is a better pass rusher than Fletcher Cox. That's period. Now, the better run stopper. You have to be a great run stopper. Fletcher Cox is the best run stopping defensive tackle in the league, hands down. He's the best. He shuts guys down. He keeps guys at bay. And he's very underrated at pass rushing as well, so we can't take it from him. He could pass rush with some of the best. He can. Now, but run stopping, he's very ferocious, especially that Super Bowl run they had. They shut the run down a lot, and he was the cause of it. He was the reason for it. As far as impact, Fletcher Cox to me has a little more impact than Aaron Donald. And that's not taking nothing from Aaron Donald. If you got Aaron Donald picked over Fletcher Cox, I have no argument. I have no problem with that. But I would take Fletcher Cox, because Fletcher Cox jumps off my screen a lot more, even when he's not making a sack, compared to Aaron Donald. Donald is as great as he is. He's had some stretches where he has been very, disappearish. He's kind of a disappearish person at that time. Not to take nothing from him, he's a great player. Don't get me wrong. First ballot Hall of Famer, probably the best D tackle in the game if you want to argue that. But I would go with Fletcher Cox. Now, tackling, Fletcher Cox is better. I'm sorry, I done seen Fletcher Cox one-on-one with some receivers who catch it on a screen, and he's tackled them by himself. I done seen him go one-on-one with running backs. Aaron Donald's no slouch either. He'll make a big hit on a running back or a receiver and force a fumble, but at times I've seen Donald get shook out his shoes. But it is what it is. You could go either way. Now, leader. Who is the better leader? To me, the better leader is Fletcher Cox, because I don't believe Donald is the leader on that defense. I think he's one of them, but I think they have other guys. Let me see that roster. I forgot the names of the other guys on their team, but yeah, they have to me, the leader on the team and everything, especially on the defense. I believe Leonard Floyd is one of the leaders. He has impact. And Jalen Ramsey, as much as I can't stand the scumbag, to me, he's more of a leader on that defense than Aaron Donald to me. Now, Aaron Donald, you know what I'm saying? I'm not taking nothing from him. He's a leader, but I just think Fletcher Cox has a little more leadership than Donald, if I had to go that way. Clutchness. Basically making a play when you need it. Fletcher Cox, to me, makes more plays, especially in the playoffs from watching both of them. Fletcher Cox just jumps off my screen more. And he's made bigger plays to me than Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald, as far as him in a complete defense, his defense has way more playmakers on it than the Eagles. The Eagles have played with third or fourth stringers the past 2 years. And that's not to take anything away from, I do not want you guys to take anything away from these guys. Don't take any way from them, man. Whoever you pick, you could pick them, but don't take anything from them. But on defense, I like Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd to me is a big leader. He balls out and also he has Troy Hill, who has been an awesome second corner with Jalen Ramsey being the main guy. They've been terrorizing folks. And John Johnson III and Jordan Fuller have been good at the safety. The Rams have been very dangerous. So it is what it is and everything. So to me, it's a mixture. Fletcher Cox to me is more clutch. He's come up with big plays, especially in the Super Bowl, making a sack. In other games he's played, he's made big plays and sacks when the Eagles needed it. That whole Super Bowl run, that D-line, Fletcher Cox was leading it. Yeah, he had Graham on the outside, but without Fletcher Cox in that middle, Graham would have been nobody. Like straight up. So to me, I'm just saying I would go with Fletcher Cox overall. Intangibles, run stopping, anchor of a defense, leader, I would give it to Fletcher Cox. Even with the whole thing with the quarterback issues with Foles and Wentz, Fletcher Cox kept everybody's head in the game and focus. And Aaron Donald, not to take nothing from him, but to me, I believe the coach and Jalen Ramsey and others are the leaders of the team more. Donald is a leader to an extent. To me, he's a leader by example. Fletcher Cox can get vocal as well as get everybody, riled up. And Fletcher Cox can play with bad defenses or good defenses, and he'll hold it down. And he'll help that defense elevate. Whereas Aaron Donald, he has a better supporting cast. And to me, if you just talk about pass rushing and you want Aaron Donald to do one thing, I'm taking Aaron Donald for pass rushing or putting pressure on the QB. But as far as all the other things that make a great defensive tackle, I'm going Fletcher Cox. I think he's the best defensive tackle of today. People are going to argue with me and say, oh, man, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, I'm just saying. And so, I just think Fletcher Cox is very underrated. I think he doesn't get nearly the love that he should get, especially playing for this Philly team. But like I said, tell me what you think. Who would you take? Aaron Donald or Fletcher Cox? Let me know. Because I think Fletcher Cox is the better overall defensive tackle. But the better pass rusher is Aaron Donald. I will give you that. Aaron Donald is the better pass rusher. So thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you want to donate to the page, cash at me at the word welcome, the number 2, HDIITV. Thank you for listening. We out. Lie boy.